Okay, so we had to start over a little bit because of the fire truck and this dog who decided to visit us. So tell us again, Austin, about the trips inside the hospital and how that affected you.
We visited 24 different children's hospitals, and every time we go in the hospital, we'd get to bring our bicycles in and tell the kids why we were riding. And I realized what an important part of childhood bicycling is, because I remember when I was a kid, it was always an important part. And then these kids in the hospital would take their bikes in, and they would want to tell us all about their bikes and all about the times that they'd fallen off their bikes and stuff like that. So it was a good diversion for them when we get to see them, and they would get excited to see a bicycle in the hospital. So that part was really fun.
What? So you traveled a lot of states, a lot of miles, but you didn't do any training for this.
Yeah.
What motivated you to tackle such? I mean, for those of us out there who train a lot and race a lot, even that's a big task. So, how did you pull it off?
Yeah, I think Will and I sat down with some guys in Nashville before we left to talk about what we would actually have to be prepared for, and we didn't have time because we were trying to graduate. We were trying to graduate and then prepare to visit all these hospitals and all the planning. There was so much to do that we didn't have time to train adequately. So we set out riding short distances every day. We do 40 or 50 miles real slow pace the first week or two, and then we kind of build up. And by the end of it, we were able to do 100 miles consistently day after day, and we did as many as 200 miles in one day.
So how many centuries out of the trip would you say that you did?
Oh man, at least 20 centuries.
Wow.
I mean, it was just, but we would never get our heart rate up too high. We just plug away at it real slow. Because if we had gotten sick, then we wouldn't have been able to visit the hospitals.
Right.
And I mean, I think that was just, somebody was watching over us, because it was just, you just have to have a lot of faith. And it's amazing what your body can do if you set a goal for yourself.
Right. What would you say was your most memorable moment throughout the entire trip?
Most memorable moment, I think.
Your greatest high, and then also tell me what was your greatest low.
Yeah, I think getting to the finish line and seeing the kids in Nashville that we had told we were going to ride for, that was really exciting, because those kids had been expecting to see us since we started to plan our ride, and to actually make it full circle to see them was really exciting. And they'd kept in touch with us the whole summer and been cheering us on.
Right.
And then there were some hard times too. I mean, we had the kid we were going to ride for in Atlanta ended up passing away 2 days before we got there, and so that really hit home and brought a new urgency to why we were riding. And in realizing our cause, the cycling and everything else wasn't a factor. I mean, how could you get stressed out about or physically tired when you know that these kids are going through so much at the hospitals?
Right. Well, tell me, it seems like you've experienced a lot, you've endured a lot, you sacrificed, you've taken on a challenge that not just benefited you and your friend, but also a lot of other kids who are going through a struggle. How has this affected you overall?
I think it's changed my perspective on what I'll do with my life and how I spend my time. Because you gain a new appreciation for that, not only as you bike across America, but as you meet kids going through cancer treatment. So I mean, I think it's going to affect how I spend my time and how I involve myself in the communities that I live in and stuff like that. So.